The mansion's marble floors gleamed under the chandelier's glow, each step echoing like a warning. Amara Johnson, 26, gripped her cleaning caddy, her worn sneakers silent against the polished surface. Her uniform, a crisp gray apron over, a second-hand dress, felt like a costume, not a life. She'd taken this maid job 3 days ago, desperate to cover her younger brother's college fees and her grandmother's medications. The agency had warned her, Julian Pierce, tech billionaire, expects perfection. Amara, with her quick smile and steady hands, nodded, but inside, she braced for the grind. The mansion was a world apart from her Southside Chicago apartment, where the radiator hissed and the walls smelled of damp. She dusted a crystal vase, her reflection distorted in its curves, when a crash shattered the silence. Upstairs, a door slammed, followed by a muffled sob. Amara froze, glancing at the grand staircase. The head housekeeper, Mrs. Klein, barked from the kitchen. "Focus, Amara. No distractions." But the sobbing grew louder, raw, like someone breaking apart. Amara set down her caddy, her heart tugging. She climbed the stairs, ignoring Mrs. Klein's glare. At the end of the hall, she found the source. Lily, Julian's 16-year-old daughter, curled on the floor, her makeup streaked, a broken glass beside her. Photos were scattered. Lily with a woman who looked like her, maybe her mother, now gone. Amara knelt, her voice soft. "Are you okay?" Lily's eyes snapped up, defensive. "Go away, you're just the maid." Amara didn't flinch. "Amara, and I've had days like this." Lily's lip trembled, and she didn't push back when Amara gathered the glass shards. "Talk to me," Amara said, sitting beside her. Lily's words spilled out grief over her mother's death, pressure from her father's empire, feeling invisible. Amara listened, her own losses echoing in Lily's pain, her parents gone, her grandmother's health fading. "You're not invisible," Amara said. "You're right here." Unbeknownst to Amara, Julian Pierce stood in the hallway's shadow, his suit impeccable, but his face tired. He'd heard the crash, expecting another tantrum, but found his daughter really talking, for the first time in months. Amara's voice, calm and grounded, cut through the chaos. He stepped back unnoticed, his mind turning. The next morning, Amara was polishing silver in the dining room when Julian entered, his presence filling the space. "Amara, is it?" His voice was low, measured. She nodded, bracing for a reprimand. "You were with Lily last night," he said. "She hasn't opened up like that since her mother passed." Amara's throat tightened. She just listened. Sir Julian's eyes studied her, sharp but curious. "You're not just a maid, are you?" Before she could answer, Mrs. Klein bustled in, her face sour. "Amara, the linens need folding." Julian raised a hand. "She's with me." Mrs. Klein's jaw dropped, but she retreated. Julian pulled out a chair. Said, "Tell me about yourself." Amara's heart raced. "I'm nobody special, just trying to keep my family afloat." Julian leaned forward. "Nobody special doesn't call my daughter in a crisis. I need someone like you in my office, not just my house." Amara blinked, her caddy forgotten. "Sir, I cleaned floors." Julian's smile was faint but real. "Not anymore." "Meet me in my office tomorrow. We'll talk roles." He left, and Amara stood frozen, the silver polish dripping onto her apron. Mrs. Klein's whisper hissed from the doorway, "Don't get comfortable." But Amara's mind was elsewhere, replaying Julian's words. 3 weeks later, she'd be at his table not serving, but sitting like family. The mansion's chandelier glowed above, witness to the shift that would change everything. **** Amara's alarm buzzed at 5 a.m. Cutting through the hum of her Southside apartment, she rolled off the sagging couch, her makeshift bed since her brother Jamal needed the only bedroom for his studies. The air smelled of mildew and coffee grounds, a reminder of the life she was fighting to hold together. Her grandmother, Nana Rose, coughed from the next room, her lungs weaker each day. Amara slipped into her maid's uniform, the gray apron stiff against her skin. She'd landed the job at Julian Pierce's mansion through a temp agency, a lifeline. To cover Nana's meds and Jamal's tuition, the pay was barely enough, but it was something. She checked on Nana, leaving a glass of water and a note. Back by noon. Love you. The bus ride to the Gold Coast was a blur of neon signs and early commuters. The mansion loomed ahead, its iron gates like a barrier between her world and Julian's. Amara's heart sank as she stepped inside, greeted by Mrs. Klein's cold stare. You're late, Mrs. Klein snapped, though Amara was 5 minutes early. Start with the foyer. No mistakes. Amara nodded, gripping her caddy, her resolve hardening. The foyer was a cathedral of wealth marble floors, chandelier dripping with crystals, and a staircase that seemed to climb to the sky. Amara scrubbed the baseboards, her knees aching, her hands raw from bleach. Mrs. Klein hovered, critiquing every move. Miss a spot and you're out, she hissed. Amara bit her tongue, focusing on the rhythm of her work. She'd cleaned houses before, but this was different. Every corner screamed power, untouchable. She dusted a framed photo of Julian Pierce, his sharp jaw and silver-flecked hair exuding authority. Beside him was a teenage girl, Lily, her smile forced. Amara's heart tugged. She knew that look from Jamal, who carried the weight of their family's struggles. A door slammed upstairs, followed by a muffled yell. Amara glanced up, but Mrs. Klein snapped, "Eyes on your work!" Amara nodded, but her mind wandered. Who was up there? The mansion felt alive, heavy with secrets. She moved to the dining room, polishing silver forks, when a crash echoed from above. Her instincts kicked in. She'd heard pain before. Setting down the polish, she headed for the stairs. Ignoring Mrs. Klein's glare, the hallway upstairs was dim, lined with closed doors and plush carpet that muffled Amara's steps. The sobbing grew louder, guiding her to a half-open door. Inside, Lily sat crumpled on the floor, her dark hair a mess, glass shards glinting around her. Photos were scattered. Lily with a woman who looked like her, smiling in better days. Amara's heart clenched. She'd lost her own mother young. "Hey," she said softly, kneeling. Lily flinched. "Leave me alone! You're just the help!" Amara's chest stung, but she stayed. "I'm Amara. I've had rough days too." Lily's eyes, red and raw, met hers. Amara picked up a photo, handing it to her. "Your mom." Lily nodded, tears spilling. "She's gone. Dad doesn't get it." Amara sat beside her, listening, as Lily poured out her grief. Mrs. Klein's voice barked from below, but Amara stayed, her own losses, her parents. Her dreams binding her to Lily, unknown to her. Julian watched from the shadows, his face unreadable. Amara's simple act of kindness, defying her role, was about to change everything. Amara's knees pressed into the plush carpet as she sat beside Lily. The broken glass swept into a neat pile. Lily's sobs had softened, her words tumbling out in fragments. Her mother's death 2 years ago, her father's absence, the pressure of being Julian Pierce's daughter. Amara listened, her own grief a quiet echo. "I lost my mom when I was 15, she said softly. "It's like a piece of you goes missing." Lily's eyes met hers, wide with surprise. "You get it?" she whispered. Amara nodded, handing her another photo. "God, keep these close. They help." The hallway creaked, and Amara tensed, expecting Mrs. Klein's wrath. Instead, Julian's shadow loomed in the doorway. "Lily, you okay?" he asked, his voice gruff but laced with worry. Lily nodded, clutching the photos. Amara helped. Julian's gaze shifted to Amara, his eyes narrowing not with anger but curiosity. "Thank you," he said, the words heavy. Amara stood, brushing off her apron. "Just doing what's right, sir." Julian nodded, his expression unreadable, and left. Amara's heart raced. Had she crossed a line? But Lily's small smile told her it was worth it. Asterisk the next morning. Amara polished the dining room table, her hands moving mechanically. Mrs. Klein's glare burned hotter than ever. "You're not here to play therapist," she hissed, tossing. A ragged Amara. "Do your job." Amara nodded, but her mind was on Lily. She'd seen that spark of trust in the girl's eyes. Something rare in this cold mansion. As she wiped down a silver candelabra, Julian entered, his suit crisp, his presence commanding. Amara, he said, his voice low. She froze, bracing for a lecture.
Place with Lily that wasn't in your job description.
Amara's.
Stomach dropped. I'm sorry, sir. He raised a hand. Don't apologize. Lee hasn't talked to anyone like that in months. How'd you do it? Amara blinked. I just listened. She needed someone. Leanne's eyes softened. She's been lost since her mother died. I've tried, but trailed off. Vulnerability flickering. Amara nodded, unsure what to say. You're good with people, Julian said, almost to himself. I need that in my office. Come. To my study at noon. He left, and Amara's hands shook, the rag forgotten. Asterisk at noon, Amara stood outside Julian's study. Her apron swapped for a clean blouse she'd found in the staff closet. Her heart pounded as she knocked. Come in, Julian called. The study was a fortress of oak and leather, shelves lined with books and awards. Julian sat at a desk, papers strewn around a laptop. Sit, he said, gesturing to a chair. Amara, perched on the edge, feeling like an intruder. I run a tech company, Julian said. But my real work is people, clients, employees, my daughter. I need someone who can read them, connect with them. Amara's throat tightened. I'm just a maid, sir. Julian leaned forward. You're more than that. I'm offering you a role client liaison, entry level. You'll shadow my team, learn the ropes. Amara's mind spun. I don't have a degree. Julian's smile was faint. You have instinct. That's rare. Mrs. Klein's voice echoed from the hall, but Julian ignored it. Start tomorrow, he said. Amara nodded, her world tilting. She wasn't just cleaning anymore, she was stepping into something bigger. Asterisk. Amara's first day as a client liaison felt like stepping onto a tightrope. She stood in Julian's corporate office, a glass-walled tower overlooking Lake Michigan, her borrowed blouse crisp but her stomach churning. The team 3 polished professionals in tailored suits eyed her warily. You're the maid? One, a man named Derek, asked, his tone sharp. Mara nodded, her chin high. Now I'm here to learn. Julian, at the head of the table, silenced Derek with a glance. Amara's shadowing you today, he said. Show her how we handle clients. The team nodded, but their smiles were tight. Amara clutched a notebook, her pen ready. Julian handed her a tablet. Take notes on our pitch to Meridian Tech. They're a big account. Amara's heart raced. She'd never been in a meeting, let alone a high-stakes one. As the team discussed strategies, she scribbled, her mind racing to keep up. Derek tossed jargon like ROI and KP is, but Amara caught the gist. Meridian was slipping away due to poor communication. She jotted a question. Are we listening? To their needs. Julian's eyes flicked to her notebook, a spark of approval there. The Meridian pitch was chaos. Derek led, his slides slick, but his tone robotic, missing the client's cues. The Meridian team, 2 women in sharp blazers, looked bored, checking their phones. Amara sat quietly, her notebook full of observations. One woman, Ms. Carter, sighed. You're not addressing our downtime issues, Derek fumbled. But Amara's instincts kicked in. May I? She asked Julian, her voice steady. He nodded, surprising the team. Amara stood, her hands trembling, but her gaze firm. Miss Carter, you mentioned downtime. At the mansion, when equipment fails, we troubleshoot the root cause, not just the symptom. Could we analyze your system logs to pinpoint the issue? Miss Carter's eyes lit up. You get it. Yes, let's do that. Derek's jaw tightened, but Julian's smile was subtle. After the meeting, Miss Carter pulled Amara aside. You're new, but you listen. That's rare. Amara's chest swelled, but Derek's glare burned. Back at the mansion, Mrs. Klein muttered, Don't get cocky. Amara ignored her, her mind buzzing. She'd made a difference, and Julian had seen it. That evening, Julian called Amara to his study. We're impressed Meridian today, he said. Leaning back in his chair, how'd you know to ask about system logs? Amara shrugged, her hands clasped. I listen to people planners, clients, anyone. They'll tell you what's broken if you pay attention. Julian nodded, his eyes warm. I'm promoting you to junior liaison. You'll work directly with clients now. Amara's breath caught. Sir, I've been here a week. Julian chuckled. And you've already outshone half my team. You start training tomorrow. She left. Lily appeared in the hallway, her face brighter than before. Dad says you're working with him now. That's cool. Amara smiled. Thanks to you. Lily hugged her. A quick, surprising embrace. Amara's heart warmed to she'd come to clean floors, but she was building bridges. Mrs. Klein's voice hissed from the kitchen, but Amara didn't care. She texted Jamal. Got promoted. Tell Nana. His reply was instant. You're killing it. The mansion's lights glowed, and Amara felt a shift. She wasn't just a maid anymore. She was something more. Amara's new role as junior liaison thrust her into a world of glass offices and high-stakes deals. Her first week was a blur of training sessions, where she shadowed Derek and the team, soaking up their processes. Derek's resentment was palpable, his instructions clipped. Don't mess this up, he snapped before a client call. Amara nodded, her notebook filled with tips she'd overheard from cleaners at the mansion, practical fixes for inefficiencies. The call was with a frustrated client, Tech Trend, upset over delayed software updates. Amara listened, catching their real concern, lack of clear communication. When Derek's scripted response fell flat, Amara spoke up. Could we set up weekly check-ins to keep you updated? The client, a gruff man named Mr. Evans, paused. That'd help? Derek's eyes narrowed, but Julian, listening in, nodded approvingly. After the call, Julian pulled Amara aside. You're seeing what they miss. Keep it up. Amara's confidence grew, but doubt lingered. Could she really belong here? At home, she told Nana Rose, who smiled. You're not just rising, Amara, you're lifting us all. Her words fueled Amara's resolve. The mansion's staff room buzzed with whispers. She's playing favorites with the boss, Mrs. Klein muttered, loud enough for Amara to hear. Amara ignored her, focusing on her next task, preparing a client report for Julian. She stayed late, cross-referencing data on Tech Trend's account. Spotting a pattern of missed deadlines tied to a single supplier, she drafted a proposal to switch vendors, her hands steady despite Mrs. Klein's hovering. At the next meeting, Amara presented her findings, her voice clear. Switching to a local supplier could cut delays by 20%, she said, showing a chart she'd made. Derek scoffed. She's not trained for this. But Mr. Evans, on video call, nodded. Makes sense. Let's try it. Leon's eyes gleamed with approval. After he handed Amara a new assignment, lead a small client meeting. Amara asked, stunned. You've earned it, Julian said. Mrs. Klein's glare followed her out. But Amara felt a spark. She was proving herself, step by step. At home, Jamal texted, Nana says you're a boss now. Amara laughed, her heart lighter. She was climbing, but the path wasn't easy. The client meeting was Amara's first solo test. She stood in a conference room facing a small tech startups. Teamer palms, sweaty but her smile steady. She'd prepared slides based on her vendor switch proposal, tailoring it to their needs. Your delays are costing sales, she said, pointing to her chart. A new supplier and better communication can fix that. The startup's CEO, a young woman named Priya, leaned forward. You're direct. I like that. Let's move forward. Amara's chest swelled, but Derek's voice cut through as the meeting ended. Beginner's luck, he muttered. Amara faced him. Not luck. It's listening. Julian, watching from the back, clapped once, silencing the room. She's right. Listening is our weakest link. Amara's fixing it. Derek's face reddened, but he stayed quiet. Later, Lily found Amara in the mansion's kitchen, sneaking. Her a cookie. You're killing it, Lily said, grinning. Amara hugged her, the warmth of her support grounding her. She texted Nana, led a meeting. They listened. Nana's reply was simple. Keep shining. Amara's doubts faded. She was earning her place. Amara's promotion to junior liaison came with a desk in Julian's office, a small space with a view of the city's skyline. She felt like an imposter. her second-hand blouse out of place among the team's designer suits. But her work spoke louder. During a critical meeting with Apex Innovations, key client threatening to leave, Amara noticed a flaw in their account date over billing errors that Derek had missed. She hesitated, then spoke up. "There's a discrepancy here," she said. Pointing to the screen, "We've overcharged Apex by 10% for 3 months. Derek's face flushed, but Julian nodded. "Fix it, Amara." She worked through lunch, recalculating invoices and drafting an apology. Apex's CEO, Mr. Lang, was impressed. "You caught what your team didn't?" he said on a call. "We're staying." Julian's nod was subtle, but proud. Derek's silence was loud, his resentment growing. Mara's confidence surged, but Mrs. Klein's words echoed at the mansion. "You're still the help." Amara pushed back, her voice firm. "Not anymore." At home, Nana Rose hugged her. "You're rewriting our story, child." Mara's heart swelled. She was fighting for more than herself. The Apex victory spread through the office, earning Amara quiet nods from colleagues. Even Derek grudgingly admitted her work was solid. But the real test came when Julian assigned her to lead a crisis meeting. A major client, Skynet, had a system outage, costing thousands daily. The team scrambled, but Amara's calm stood out. "We need to prioritize their critical systems," she said, drawing on her experience keeping the mansion running. She proposed a triage plan, redirecting resources to stabilize Skynet's core functions. The team hesitated, but Julian backed her. "Do it." Amara coordinated with Skynet's tech lead, her voice steady on the call. By evening, the outage was contained, and Skynet's CEO sent a personal thank you. Julian called her to his office. "You saved A's $1 million account today," he said. Amara's throat tightened. "I just did what made sense." Julian leaned forward. "That's why you're here, making you a full liaison." Amara's eyes widened. "Sir, that's—" He cut her off. "Earned to take it, Lily." Overheard rushing to hug Amara. "You're like family now," she said. Amara's heart raced. This was real. The promotion shifted everything. Amara moved from the mansion's staff quarters to a small office, her name on a plaque. Amara Johnson, client liaison, led more meetings, her insights sharpening with each one. Derek's resentment faded into reluctant respect, but Mrs. Klein's bitterness grew. "You think you're one of them?" she snapped one evening. Mara faced her. "I'm me. That's enough." At a company dinner, Julian invited Amara to sit at his table, beside Lily. The team watched, some with awe, others with envy.
Julian
Raised a glass to Amara, who's shown us what listening looks like. The applause was warm, and Lily squeezed her hand. Amara texted Jamal, sitting at the CEO's table. "Nana okay?" He replied, "She's dancing." "You're a legend." At home, Nana Rose pulled Amara close. "You're not just surviving, you're thriving." Amara's eyes stung. She'd come to clean floors, but now she was shaping futures. The mansion's chandelier glowed above a witness to her rise. She wasn't just a liaison. She was part of something bigger, a family forged by her own courage. Amara's new office felt like a dream. Its glass walls framing Chicago's skyline. Her nameplate gleamed, a quiet testament to her rise. She led client calls with confidence, her insights winning over even skeptical colleagues. Derek, now a cautious ally, asked for her input on a new project. "You see things we don't," he admitted. Amara nodded, her heart light. At the mansion, Lily became her shadow, sneaking into Amara's breaks with snacks and questions. "How do you stay so calm?" Lily asked one evening, munching a cookie. Amara smiled. "I think of my Nana. She taught me to keep going." Lily's eyes softened. "You're like the sister I never had." Amara's throat tightened. She'd never had a family this big. Julian noticed, inviting her to dinner with him and Lily. "You're not just an employee," he said, passing her a plate. "You're part of this." Amara's eyes stung, but she smiled. At home, she told Nana Rose, who laughed. "You've got a billionaire calling you family? That's my girl." Mara texted Jamal. "Dinner with the CEO. Feels like home." His reply, "You're unstoppable. Asterisk, asterisk." The bond with Julian and Lily grew quietly. Amara joined them for movie nights, laughing over popcorn as Lily teased her dad's taste in old sci-fi. Julian shared stories of his late wife, his voice soft, and Amara opened up about her parents' loss. "You remind me of her," Julian said one night. "She saw people, really saw them." Amara's heart swelled. At work, she tackled bigger clients, her proposals streamlining operations. A major deal with Horizon Tech, secured by her clear communication, earned her a company-wide email from Julian. "Amara Johnson sets the standard." Mrs. Klein's bitterness faded, placed by grudging respect. "You've changed things," she admitted one day, handing Amara a coffee. Amara nodded, grateful. At home, Nana Rose's health improved, her cough quieter, thanks to better meds. Jamal, thriving in college, called Amara his hero. "Paying for my books?" he said. Amara laughed. "You're paying me back with A's." The mansion's warmth, once cold, now felt like hers. She wasn't just surviving, she was building a family, one connection at a time. Asterisk a company gala. Marked Amara's third week. She wore a simple dress Nana had sewn, its elegance outshining the room's glitz. Julian introduced her to the board, his arm around Lily. "Amara's our secret weapon," he said, his voice proud. The board applauded, and Amara's cheeks warmed. Lily whispered, "You belong here." Later, Julian pulled her aside. "I'm creating a new role, head of client relations. It's yours if you want it." Amara's breath caught. "That's huge." Julian smiled. "You're huge. Say yes." She did, her heart racing. At home, Nana and Jamal celebrated. "Toasting with juice? You're not just family to them," Nana said. "You're ours." Amara's eyes glistened. She'd come to clean floors, but now she sat at the CEO's table, her voice heard, her heart full. The city sparkled outside, a canvas of her new life. She texted Lily, "Thanks for letting me in." Lily replied, "Your family, Amara." The mansion's lights glowed, a beacon of her journey from maid to something Mara's sister, a daughter, a leader. Amara stood at the head of a conference room, presenting her first major proposal as head of client relations. The board watched, their faces a mix of curiosity and respect. Her slides outlined a new client communication system, built on her knack for listening. "This will cut response times by 30%, she said, her voice steady. The board applauded, and Julian's nod was proud. Back at the mansion, Lily helped Amara organize a charity event for local youth, inspired by Amara's story. "You make me want to do better," Lily said, taping flyers. Amara smiled, her heart full. Mrs. Klein, now softened, offered to bake for the event. "You've changed this place," she admitted. Amara's work rippled outward, clients praised. Her colleagues sought her advice. At home, Nana Rose walked without her cane, her health stronger. Jamal aced his exams, texting, "You're my inspiration." Amara's legacy was growing, rooted in her compassion. She wasn't just at the CEO's table, she was reshaping it. A month later, Amara launched her communication system, saving the company millions. Julian invited her to a private dinner with Lily and key investors. "You're not just an employee," he said, raising a glass. "You're family." Amara's eyes stung, thinking of Nana and Jamal. She'd paid off their debts, and Jamal was set to graduate. At the dinner, an investor offered Amara a mentorship. "You're a leader," he said. Amara nodded, her confidence no longer borrowed. Back home, Nana sewed her a new dress, her hand steady. "You're carrying us forward," she said. Amara hugged her, tears falling. She visited the mansion's staff room, sharing her story with new maids. "You're more than your job," she told them. Mrs. Klein nodded, her eyes soft. Amara's phone buzzed. "Lily, you're my hero," Amara replied. "You're mine." Her legacy wasn't just success, it was connection. It's built on kindness. At a company conference, Amara spoke to hundreds, sharing her journey from maid to leader. "Listening changes everything," she said, her voice resonating. The crowd rose. Applauding, Julian joined her on stage, his arm around her. "Amara's our heart," he said. Lily hugged her, whispering, "You're my sister."
Back home.
Nana and Jamal watched the live stream, cheering. Mara's work inspired a company-wide initiative to mentor underserved youth, named after her. She visited her old Southside block, funding a community center. "This is for us," she told the kids. Her phone buzzed. "Julian, you've changed us all." Amara smiled, the city glowing outside. She'd come to clean floors, but she'd built a legacy of love, justice, and family. Her story wasn't over, it was just beginning.